So today, guys, I'm going to give you my 3 little weird facts that you need to know about doing online dating that's going to help you to attract those women online that you want to go out with. And I say this from personal experience because I have been very much a successful online dater. I made a whole freaking program about it called Smart Digital Dating, which you can check out at my website, introvertdatingsuccess.com. But I want to give you 3 little weird facts that you can start using today, just that you have in your head there, so you'll know going forth when you do online dating how to better your chance at being able to attract women and actually match with them. So let's get into it. Tip number 1, all right, is that on most dating apps, your best shot at being able to get a high volume of matches is within the first 24 to 48 hours when you sign up. You see, what happens is this: when you sign up for a service, they want you to have the idea of a good experience on their app. And they want you to feel as though you're going to be able to get a lot of matches if you continue staying on their app. So upon first signing up for the app, what will typically happen is once you've been injected into their system, that first 24 to 48 hours, they're going to be just throwing matches at you that are going to be of high quality and high caliber. And this is the point where if you're on an app like, say, Tinder, you want to be swiping right on all the girls that you find attractive and being on there, actually engaging with the app. Same thing with Hinge, same thing with Bumble. You want to be on these apps during this time when you first sign up because that's when you're going to have a higher probability of getting the kind of matches that you want. Now, what happens as you're on the apps longer is they'll start to kind of get an idea of the girls that you're swiping on and send you more of those kind of women. But in the process, they might actually not send you another different kind that you might have also gelled with. So when you first sign on to any of these apps, make sure you're on there as much as possible, like at least 3 or 4 hours swiping left and right or trying to match or reach out to people, because that's when you're going to have your best shot at not only getting matches to you, but also your face being put out to all these other women that are on these platforms that have been on there for a while that are needing new men to feed into their pool of choices as well. The second little weird online fact that you may not be aware of is that just because a woman quote unquote ghosts you or stops texting you doesn't mean that she won't come back and want to go on a date with you. Now you're probably thinking, well, then why the heck does that happen? And I did a video earlier this year about my experience on a dating app whereby I put up a woman's picture just to see what kind of response I would get. And within 24 hours, I got like 149 different matches, okay? So what happens with women is they get an absorbently high amount of matches, far more than you probably will get. Like even the most good-looking guy could probably get like 100 matches in a week. Well, that could be a woman's 500 matches in a week or a woman's 1,000 matches in a week. And it can get very overwhelming for them. So what they will do sometimes is they will say, you know what? I need to take a break. I'm going to step back for like a week and not respond to any of these apps, not get on any of them. And then I'll get back on at a later time and see what's there. Okay, so you got to figure there's overwhelm for women. In my experience, when I did when I got the 149 matches, of those 149 matches, 69 guys had written me that day. Okay, so it gave me the understanding like, oh, it's going to be hard for a woman to want to respond to 69 different messages, the most of which are going to suck, and that she has to weed through to find the 1 or 2 or 3 messages that she gels with enough to want to write back. She might need some time. If you write a woman and say you're having a rapport back and forth, you send her a couple of messages, she sends you a couple of messages, and then you send a message trying to continue the conversation or ask her out, and then you hear nothing back, well, that doesn't mean that she lost interest, okay? But what that does mean is that you need to be patient and just let it die. Let the conversation die, meaning that you've sent the last message. If she decides to sign back on a week later and respond, then she will. If she doesn't, she won't. But it's going to be better for you to do that strategy and have a better chance for responding back to you when she does sign back on than to be that guy that's like, oh, why'd you stop talking to me? Oh, you're just an angry so-and-so. See, this is all blah, blah. And if you do that, you're going to chase away what could have potentially been a woman that would have come back a week later and be like, okay, hey, I'm back on the thing. Let's go on a date. Okay. So don't ruin your chances of that happening by getting mad at her if she goes ghost or doesn't talk to you. And don't oversend follow-up texts. If you send her a text and she doesn't respond back to you, just let it be. Don't be that guy that's sending 4 or 5 texts, even if they're positive texts, that are going to make you look needy when she gets back on the platform. And then the third really weird online dating fact is, the number one reason why you're probably not getting dates on these platforms? Well, according to the women that I've gone on dates with, the main reason that most of these women ended up not going out with other guys they were talking to is because the guy did not ask for the date. And these are guys that were like genuinely interested, that were kind of hinting at maybe wanting to possibly go out with her, but they were just too afraid to pull the trigger and actually ask for what they wanted, which was a date. And this might be where you're at right now because let's face it, guys, the idea of talking to a woman for a long amount of time and then asking her out and getting a rejection can hurt. So what sometimes will happen is you may end up just talking to a girl and thinking, well, if she wants to go out, then she'll ask me out. Because clearly if we're talking and we have a good rapport going, then she would let me know if she wanted to go out. But even though it could be a true thing that you're having a good rapport and that she's genuinely showing interest, you're still the man. She's still looking for you to lead the interaction and where it's going to go. And if you're not actually asking for these dates, then you're not going to get the date. And there have been women that I've sometimes messaged like 1 or 2 messages, and then the third message is like, hey, we should go on a date. And then there's some women that I've talked to for 2 or 3 days, but then I got to like, hey, let's go on a date. And in those situations, either way, I got a date. But if you're pen paling it for 2 or 3 weeks, then even if you get to the point where you want to ask for a date, you've been talking to her so long, she may have lost interest. But the point is this, she's not going to, really is the woman going to be the one to come out and say, hey, we're having a good conversation, let's go on a date, all right? So understand that as part of your job of being online and dating is that yes, you're going to create conversation, you're going to create chemistry, you're going to ask about herself, yada, yada, yada. But don't be that guy that goes from like, well, we should be talking on the app to we should be talking on the phone. We should be texting each other to let's have a Zoom meeting. And you don't ever actually pull the trigger and meet her in person. That is literally the main reason most of you guys are probably not getting dates. Now, with that said, you may not know how to go about the process of asking for the date or how to even build up the conversation to where you can tell that she's interested in having that kind of thing. If you're interested in learning that kind of thing, again, I got a whole program at my site called Smart Digital Dating that takes you through everything from building your profile to sending messages all the way up to being able to ask women out. If you're interested in that, you can check it out at the website. I also got a whole training there that teaches you guys the ins and outs of the kind of first messages to send to women that will automatically create an instant connection with them. So again, it's all on the website, okay? But regardless, hopefully these 3 points will help you to start to get a better grip on how online dating works and will result in you having a lot more success with women on dating platforms. If you found the info in this episode to be helpful, please show your support by clicking on the tip jar tab, the link of which can be found at the website and in the description below. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, and comment on this episode and catch new episodes right here on YouTube or wherever a podcast can be found. In the meantime, be sure to check out my other episodes so you too can learn how to date as your introverted self while still getting your precious alone time. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.